What the actual hell is Kim Kardashian thinking about letting her 13-year-old child have a man pop his arm around her 13-year-old?
And is it true your mum made you do Playboy?
Yes, it is.
Is it true what they say? Was she on cocaine when she was 14?
She did take her first drink at 9, and she did have coke when she was about 11 or 12. Hollywood said she was washed up after that.
Listen, to me, you're not grown till you leave my house. If you need my permission to go to a movie, then I'm going to have a say in what happens.
DL Hughley is speaking out after that disturbing of Northwest in Paris went viral, and he's putting celebrity parents on blast for selling out their daughters to the industry and then acting surprised when weird stuff happens. DL also broke down why he never posted his daughters online, and it really puts this whole North situation in perspective. So for those who haven't seen it, here's what happened. North, who is 13 years old, was at a fashion event in Paris, and this video went viral where she puts her hand out for a handshake, and this grown man ignores it and gives her a hug instead. And it's not just this one dude. There was also this photo where another grown man had his arm over North's shoulder and his hand was literally over her chest. Obviously, a lot of people thought this was creepy as hell. Even UK rapper Skepta spoke on it too, said it made him sick, and told everybody to protect their kids. Skepta wrote, "My fans know I try to stay out of people's business, but damn the way grown men, complete strangers, try to use North makes me sick." But then some weirdo on X replied, "Is hugging a social offense now?" However, Skepta checked him quickly and wrote, "What are you talking about? She is 13 years old, and she put her hand out for a handshake. You don't ignore that." I can't believe some of these replies to my tweet, and he's 100% right. If you read the replies to his post, you'll see exactly why you need to keep your kids off social media, because there's a bunch of grown men out there saying they have the right to hug anyone they want, and some are even saying 13 is old enough, but it gets worse. Another user who should be on a watch list responded to Skepta saying, "With all those piercings, she's only a child by age, not outlook. She basically skipped being a teenager." Now let that sink in. Some of these men are saying North is not a child because of the way she dresses. Now I remember years ago when Kanye was telling Kim not to let North on TikTok precisely because it would lead to this.
I was with Kim. I told her to stop antagonizing me with this TikTok thing. I said it's never again. I am her father. I know y'all don't respect fathers and the idea of family, and media tries to promote something. I said I'm not allowing my daughter to be used by TikTok, to be used by Disney.
Now on the other hand, I don't want to let Kanye off the hook either, because he started off acting like he wanted to protect North from the industry, but then he had her do a song with Diddy and even tried to introduce her to Andrew Tate. So yeah, you're never going to convince me that Kanye is a saint and that this is all Kim's doing. Both of them failed to protect North and treated her as an accessory since the moment she was born. Plus, if Kanye really cared about North from the industry, he wouldn't pick Kim Kardashian to be the mother of his kids in the first place. Now, going back to DL Hughley, his point is bigger than just that one video of North in Paris. He's saying if you put your kids out there in these spaces and you post them on social media before they're even old enough to have their own account, don't act shocked when strangers start treating your kids like they know them personally. I actually saw that same weirdo on X who replied to Eskipeta saying that it's okay to hug North because we know her. And that's what happens when you post your kids on social media. That's what DL has been speaking on. And that's why he never shared anything about his kids online.
Yeah. If you make these things public, there are people going to have public assessments of it. Listen, to me, you're not grown till you leave my house. You're not going. If you're still going to a pediatrician, if you need my permission to go to a movie, then I'm going to have a say in what happens. If you believe that isn't how you want to run your family, I have no choice but to respect that. But don't pretend as if it isn't an unpopular sentiment.
And even now that his kids are adults, DL said he's still hesitant to post them because he knows once you share stuff about your kids on social media, you're basically inviting strangers to talk about them in any way they want.
I was reticent to post things because I didn't want her being subject to some of the things I'm subject. I knew that if I opened myself up and showed all these pictures and did all these things, there would be people who would have something negative to say.
But that leads us to a bigger conversation about celebrity parents, the industry, and what happens when you treat your daughter like a brand instead of a child. Because this ain't new. We've seen this play out over and over pretty much since the beginning of Hollywood. Judy Garland talked about her stage mom way back in the 60s, and it was literally something out of a horror movie.
My mother was truly a stage mother, a mean one. She was very jealous because she had absolutely no talent. Now she's going to knock my ear over. My mother died, and whenever I talk about her, and I should because she was so wicked, but whenever I start to talk about it, she inevitably knocks one earring off, so she's still around, so now, Mother, you behave yourself. She would sort of stand in the wings when I was a little girl, and if I didn't feel good, if I was sick to my tummy, she'd say, you get out and sing or I'll wrap you around the bedpost and break you off short. So I'd go on and sing.
And then, remember what happened to Shirley Temple? Listen to Shirley talking about what happened when her mom took her to what she thought would be a normal audition.
When I left Fox, I went to MGM for one picture, thank goodness only one. And when I got there with my mother, we were separated. She went into the office of Louis B. Mayer, and I went into the office of Arthur Freed. And he was going to talk to me about a movie he wanted to put me in. I'm 12 years old, you know. And I thought he was a producer, but instead he was an exhibitor. And I'd never seen anyone naked before, except myself. So I had no clue about what was happening. And so it struck me so funny, I laughed at him. And I laughed uproariously. I had tears, you know, and he got infuriated. And he said, out, 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 go.
Did you tell your mother?
Well, I was very quiet. I went down and met her in the lobby of the administration building. She came out very quietly from Louis B. Mayer's office, and we walked hand in hand silently to the car, which was unusual. We got in the car driving home. I said, Mom, you won't believe what happened to me. And I told her what happened, and she got kind of quiet. She said, well, you don't know what happened to me. And Louis B. Mayer wasn't as bad as Freed was to me, but he came on to my mother. And so we both decided that we didn't like MGM.
This is how Hollywood has always operated, and nothing's really changed since Shirley Temple's era. I mean, there are so many examples of stage moms knowingly putting their daughters in harm's way for money and fame. Drew Barrymore, Britney Spears, Jeanette McCurdy, Amanda Bynes, Lindsay Lohan, even Brooke Shields came out recently and talked about how her own mother let her do a Playboy photo shoot when she was 10. So yeah, this didn't start with Kim or Kris Jenner. This has been going on for decades. And it's not just the girls either. Look at Justin Bieber, Aaron Carter, Corey Haim, Macaulay Culkin, Jonathan Brandis, Lee Thompson-Young, and then pretty much all the child stars on Disney and Nickelodeon. The entire industry is set up this way. And Orlando Brown told you already, sometimes it's parents who sell their own kids, knowing exactly what will happen to them in Hollywood.
When you see black eyes like Blueface and, you know, like that, he got beat up, but he didn't get beat up where you thought he got beat up. He got beat up somewhere else, okay? And so the eyes come out, and they call them panda eyes. And they do this to, so you see people with these cigars, and they're you know, all these big celebrities, they all have the cigar in common. That's that big thing between their legs that they're sticking in. And it's one big society of it. Now, when it comes down to the selling of the, they're shipping and people, adults, the moms, the dads, right there on Target commercials, right there on Walmart commercials. And you're looking at the people that are missing, and they're smiling like they're happy, but they're going back to hell. And that's really what it is. You know, these are actually adults. Jeffrey Epstein created this saga, and this is what he is great at doing.
Now, some celebrity moms are better at hiding it than others. You got Tina Knowles, who has a whole book out now, being called a matriarch. She's celebrated for supposedly protecting Beyonce and Solange, but she literally let 16-year-old Beyonce run around with Jay-Z when he was pushing 30. But since Beyonce and Jay ended up being this power couple and having a family, everyone forgot how that relationship started. The thing is, when the stage mom thing works, you get someone like Beyonce. But when it doesn't, you get Britney. Or when it really goes left, you get someone like Piper Raquel. And if you watch that Netflix doc, Bad Influence, you know how sick it can get with these young influencers and their parents. 11 former members of Piper's squad sued Piper's mom and said she pushed them to wear revealing clothes for engagement. They eventually settled for almost $2 million, but the damage that woman's done is irreparable. So you might think someone like DL is too paranoid for never posting his kids, but DL has been in this industry for decades. He's seen how it works. He knows what happens when celebrity parents use their kids as props. Now, here's where this gets even darker. Other industry insiders have hinted that this isn't just bad parenting, and that celebrities literally have to sign a deal to sell at least one of their kids to the industry. Think about it. How many celebrities do you know who kept their kids completely hidden and stayed at the top? Almost none. They have all the money and connections to go to the best schools, get an education, become lawyers, doctors, anything they want. And yet, almost all of them end up in show business, even when they have no talent. And I know Beyonce fans don't want to hear this, but why is Blue Ivy in the spotlight so much when she can't sing or dance? I'm sorry, but she has no obvious talent, and yet they put her on stage and on the red carpet before she was even a teen. They even gave her a Grammy at 9 years old for literally no reason except saying a few words on Beyonce's song. And Beyonce and Jay-Z know how the industry works and who runs it. I mean, they were literally friends with people like R. Kelly, Diddy, and Harvey Weinstein. So why would they expose their young daughter to that world? Unless they have no choice. Unless this is the price they had to pay for their own fame and success. Maybe that's the price of admission. They give you the platform, the money, the status. But in return, they get access to your children. Think about all the child stars who didn't even live long enough to expose what happened to them. You think that's just bad luck? No, that's the system working exactly how it was designed. Now, I'm not saying every celebrity mom is sitting in a boardroom making deals with the devil, but celebrities are just puppets after all. There are people who are way more powerful behind this machine, and they're the ones pulling the strings in Hollywood. And who are these people? Well, just read those DOJ files. That explains everything about the entertainment industry and the people who run it. And DL Hughley understood that. That's why he kept his kids off social media and away from Hollywood. But sadly, that's rare. Most of these celebrities worship money and fame so much that they're willing to make that sacrifice.
Even if that means they need to sacrifice their own flesh and blood. But let me hear your thoughts on all this. How do you feel about that video of North West in Paris? And do you believe these celebrity parents literally make a deal with the devil to sell their kids to the industry? Drop your comments below and stay tuned for the next video.